We're like friends. I mean, we're sisters.
Sisters by blood, friends by choice.
Incredibly smart, intelligent, and funny.
It is your lucky motherfucking day.
All or nothing, babes. Oh. Be like, Mom, you're crashing out. Should we?
Do we want to talk about it right now?
We can talk about
Let's
it.
just let it flow.
Let it go. What the fuck? Part of us.
It's our history.
It's literally in our genes.
Yeah.
Messy genes.
So we're at Rufus de Sol over the weekend, right? Mm-hmm. On Sunday, which was incredible.
It was ethereal.
It really was.
Magical.
It was really magical. Yeah. But two things happened. One, so I'm with Carly and my friend Kat and her partner, and then Carly is with a man. He's there.
He's there.
And he's there. And we're well into the concert. Like the vibes are flowing. Probably everyone there is tripping on something. And it was just, everyone was just melting to the music.
It was magical.
Carly and this man are dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, making out. Making out hard.
The vibes were right.
I was all for it, okay? All of a sudden, this poor girl comes...
Oh my God, I forgot all about this. Holy shit.
This poor girl comes barreling through the crowd, like stumbling, falls on top of me, and a security guard is like trying to get her through the crowd, okay? Mm-hmm. And he's like shining his light. Like it is commotion city. I'm looking over at Carly and the man, and they have no idea what's going on.
Zero awareness.
And I was like, surely she must notice what's happening 2 inches away from her.
Okay. It's also like pitch black.
I know.
And there are
it was just the image of it.
Thousands of people. And we are packed in like sardines. Myself and my date, we were a little bit on acid, just a titch.
Yeah.
And it was the perfect amount because we were just melting into each other. And he's behind me and we're swaying and I'm closing my eyes and he's like feeling my hair. And it was just like, it's just the two of us there. Clearly.
You're the only people there.
Because
no one else is at this concert.
Cindy's like, did you not just see what happened? And we both go, what?
Literally just the image of it happening, and it's like flashlights are going, like it's a whole thing. I smelled throw up, so the girl must have thrown up like right next to us.
Super drunk or something.
So it clears, and I go up to you and the guy, and I'm like, did you just miss this whole thing? Okay.
We're like, what?
But also, it's great. You know, I love that you missed it.
But also really funny. And
yeah, I'm just being a girl.
I'm literally just a girl. I'm just being a girl. It happened right under our feet.
Right next to you.
No idea.
Mm-hmm. I was trampled and you couldn't give a fuck. I was injured. I was on the ground.
You could have been bleeding out.
I could have. And
you could have died.
You would have been perfectly fine. The other thing that happened was Carly and I are standing there and you're like, oh my God, where's my phone?
Oh, yes.
So we're looking for your phone and your date's in the bathroom and we can't find your phone anywhere. And you're like, oh my God, I left it in the bathroom.
Half hour ago.
Yeah. And how many people are at this concert?
Seriously, there's probably over 20,000. I don't even know.
Yeah. And in order to get to the bathroom, it was a journey. Oh my God. I almost had a panic attack doing that.
Yeah, if any of you have been to the America First Credit Union, whatever the fuck it's called now, amphitheaters, you know how packed in you can get on the lawn. And to get to the actual bathrooms, you're in the middle of the lawn, you're weaving in and out of, you're on top of people. You're dodging and weaving and
super claustrophobic.
And it has to be an emergency to get to the I have to go now, or I have to go to the bathroom, or this is an emergency. Otherwise, you are locked in to where you are.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, I left my phone in the bathroom on top of like the dryer.
But it was so funny because you're like, I left it in the bathroom. Like it was just such a classic girls' night out moment because you just were both like, oh my God.
Clearly I was like, didn't give a fuck about my phone at that
Yeah,
point.
you didn't.
Because I was so thoroughly enjoying this concert.
Yeah, and because we had to wait until your date got back to the bathroom so that he could hold the spot.
Hold the fort down.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have got
We would have lost it.
Yeah, and so 30 minutes-ish go by, I feel like.
At least.
And he comes back, and then you and I go to the bathroom, we make the trek.
I'm like, hold on to me.
Yeah.
We're going through the crowd.
No,
Let's
literally.
do it. Like, move it.
It was like moving through the mist.
Of darkness.
Yes, the mist of darkness.
And yeah, we get to the bathroom.
The tree of life. And we go in there.
And Cindy's calling my phone. She's like, take my phone. I'm calling it right now. She goes into the bathroom. I was like, oh shit, it's calling my phone. I'm like, what? And then somebody picks up. Hello? Who's this? Hi, I found your phone I found this phone in the bathroom. Where are you? I was like, oh, that's my phone. I'm in the bathroom now. She's like, I'm right outside.
Oh.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So we walk outside and she's right there, an angel in blue.
A miracle.
Gives me my phone.
Because again, we didn't go looking for your phone for a while. It was crazy. It was awesome.
So, moral of the story, life is good.
Welcome back to Messy Jeans.
Welcome.
I'm Cindy.
I'm Carly. And look at our official podcasting
We have
studio.
a studio.
Not really. Not really.
We're in the boardroom today because it's a very serious topic.
Very, very serious.
Our usual venue was not available, so
We are resourceful. We figured our shit out.
We are.
But it does look very official.
It does. And we're going to be talking about the sex talk. And mostly coming from ex-religious backgrounds or very sheltered backgrounds. We had you guys submit your stories of just your first exposure to sex, bodies, everything under that umbrella.
Sex umbrella.
Yeah.
That's probably a thing.
But before we get into that, cunty things. Cunty things.
God, this weekend was like a whirlwind of cuntiness.
I know. It really was.
I went to my very first rave. I posted my pictures on Instagram, of course. And I went to Das Energy, which is a huge festival in Utah. It's like one of the biggest raves in Utah, and people come from out of state to attend it. And it was everything everybody said it would be. I went with a group of rave friends that are very experienced with raving. And shout out to Alicia and Jamie, her husband. They took very good care of me, and I felt very safe, and it was very fun to be with them. They just took me under their wing, and they know how to party. I will say that. And I was so excited and got my little rave outfit, and we went there, and there was a ton of people there, multiple artists, and it was so fucking fun. The vibes, immaculate. The weather, incredible, perfect.
It looked so fun.
Was so
I definitely want to go next year.
So fucking fun.
Yeah.
And my daughter was there too. That was so exciting for me. Just running into her, like she was so excited to see me there, and we ran into her a few times, and I see her at one point well into the night. If you are a raver, you have some assistance for the vibes, right?
Yeah.
Your friend Molly is there. Lots of Mollys are there. And I see my daughter Cadence, and she's like, what do you want right now? And I'm like, just a little bit of Molly. She's like, oh, really? And she just laughed. But it was, oh, God, it was so fun. And I didn't have a date with me there, but everybody else kind of did in my group, which was fine. But I did see one of my guy friends there, and he didn't have a date. And so the last hour and a half or so, we danced together, which when you're vibing with your friend Molly, it's so much better to be dancing with someone and they're like touching you and vibing with you. And so that made it so much better. It was just like, you want to be like enveloped and touched and just dancing and moving. And it's just, everybody's dancing and vibing all at the same time. And it's the beat. And I see why people do it. I see why people love it.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing.
It's a religious experience.
It really, really is. There's a whole culture. There's a whole rave culture. It's called plur.
Plur?
Remember I was telling you, it's like peace,
I barely remember.
Peace, love, unity, respect.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it is.
Cool.
And then you share like bracelets and whatever. Anyway,
that.
it was super fun.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely want to go next year because it looked
for sure
sick.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Amazing. So this will be interesting to... Well, it better be interesting to you. So...
It will be.
NXIVM.
NXIVM, the cult?
Yeah, the cult.
Yeah.
I feel like you know more details probably about what the cult is. I mean, you don't have to get into it, but...
Yeah, I did watch The Vow. There was a documentary on HBO called The Vow about NXIVM. Basically, it's Keith Raniere. He was the cult leader. He's in prison now for sex trafficking. He's the guy that like branded the women, and then he would use their confessions and secrets against them as collateral, that he called it collateral, to exploit them and manipulate them. Yeah, they have like, he would brand them with his initials on them.
And our connection to it is that our father was an attorney working for Keith Raniere.
He was
before he knew.
Yeah, not one of his defense lawyers. He's one of his patent lawyers.
Yes,
because he had a lot of patents pending for his business, his cult, his MLM, whatever.
Yeah.
So he was one of his patent lawyers.
Yeah.
Do you remember when? Because we were both working for Dad at the time he got arrested.
I remember so clearly when this news came out. It was 2020. Mm-hmm. I get an email from my dad. He probably sent it to multiple people, and he just said, "We're not getting paid. I don't think we're getting paid."
Well, I don't think we're getting paid. And he's in right, jail. I'm sure.
He's in jail. We're not getting paid.
Keith Raniere just got arrested. I don't think we're getting paid.
Yeah. Oh, man, it was so crazy.
Classic Dad.
But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I had no idea that Elf Cosmetics has a connection to NXIVM.
What?
And I'll never buy from them again. But, I mean, there's always problematic brands. There's so many.
How are they connected?
So the connection is Elf had partnered with Movers and Shakers, which is a marketing agency co-founded by NXIVM members.
Wow.
And also the language used in Elf's marketing, particularly the frequent use of the word joy, bears a striking resemblance to phrases used by NXIVM, such as the cult's concept of the science of joy.
God.
Is that wild? I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
And then Elf's stock fell by approximately 6% as investors reacted to the whole NXIVM scandal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
And Elf just acquired Rhode Beauty, which is Hailey Bieber's brand.
Oh.
So it's all very interesting. And people say that Hailey and Justin are in a cult as well because the church that Hillsong Church.
Oh,
it's
I've
like
heard some things about that.
Yeah. Basically,
everybody's in a cult.
They're all cult. Yeah.
We're starting a cult. Probably.
Yeah. Today's topic.
Exciting.
When we decided on this topic, what was the first thing that came to your mind? The first memory that you had growing up being exposed to sex and everything that comes with that?
It was my 11th birthday. And I remember after the whole festivities with our family, I remember my dad saying to my mom, "So, have you had the birds and the bees talk yet with Carly?" To my mom, and I was around. And my mom said, "Well, not yet." And he said, "Well, she's 11, it's probably time." She says, "Well, she's still small in stature."
What the fuck?
I remember that so vividly. And I'm thinking
Victorian
I
era?
kind of already know. I
Really?
thought I knew. Oh my God. I had a friend named Priscilla in 4th grade. Okay.
Oh, slut.
Priscilla. What a name.
Yeah.
And she was not Mormon and came from a family that was, a lot more unsheltered than we were. And she told me all about, because I remember saying to her in 4th grade one time, she's like, "Do you know where babies come from?" I was like, "Yeah, from Heavenly Father." And she laughed so hard at me, and I felt so embarrassed. She goes, Heavenly Father? She's like, you don't know that babies come from sex? And I was like, so she sat me down. I was like, girl, no. So she told me about penis and vagina and how it all works. And I'm sitting there in shock, in horror, and thinking, my mom and dad did this however many times, however many kids we had at this point in the family.
Yeah.
And I was low-key disgusted. But yeah, so that had already happened before my 11th birthday. And then I was thinking, well, Priscilla already told me. So like so silly and just so classic.
Yeah.
Just for that generation, classic. For us. She thought that was so funny. Heavenly Father, like, you dumb, dumb bitch. But shout out to Priscilla. You set me straight. You set me straight, girl.
Priscilla, the source of all wisdom about sex. That's so great. One of my first, I don't know if I've ever told you this, and I was a child, okay, a very sheltered child before I tell this story. But I was probably 6 or 7, and something got in my head of like, what does a grown-up body look like? Like, what is going on there? Because maybe I saw like my parents changing one time, and I was like, what's happening over there?
What in the fuck?
Yeah. So it was in the first house that I grew up in. I hid in my parents' room.
Oh my God. Oh dear God.
I hid in my parents' room.
You didn't.
Underneath the baby crib.
Okay.
Because there was like a curtain.
The baby crib, which was a fixture.
Yes.
A permanent fixture in our parents' bedroom
yes.
our entire childhood.
It was. And I just watched them change their clothes. Like, I just peeked because I was like,
totally, honestly, so normal.
Because no one was talking about
so normal
bodies or anything. Like, no one was. And I was just, but I felt sick to my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, what was that? But it was just because nothing. I just had no frame of reference. I don't know.
No concept. It's like
I was so curious. Like I was 6 or 7. I was just so curious, and I knew I was like, I cannot be caught because they will be furious at me. Sad. Furious. Yeah.
That's so sad. But it's like Phoebe from Friends when Monica, she's like, I've seen you naked, and Monica's like, when have you seen me naked? And Phoebe goes, I'm curious about the human body.
I was just so curious.
That's Cindy.
I was just curious. I didn't see them do anything else except change their clothes, and then I was out of there somehow. Can you imagine? Oh my God. But that was one of my first memories.
Normal, I'm sure. Because yeah, you are curious. You want to know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, and then my other one was, and I've told you this many times, but so it was maturation day at school, and my mother, the good Mormon mother that she was like, well, I'll handle that. You're going to skip school.
Oh, God.
So I skipped school. I'm in my dad's office. I'm playing games on the computer. She comes in with this giant textbook, a textbook with pictures. And she's like, so I know you didn't get to go to school today, you know, but this talks about everything that they talked about. And it's just this huge book that says like our bodies or something on it. So she's like, so if you have any questions, you know, you just let me know. And so I'm mortified. I run up to my room. I open it up. I'm sifting through it. I come across this one page. It talks about relationships on this page, and everything's cartoon. Okay. So it says gay relationships, lesbian relationships, women and women.
Inclusive.
Yeah. And she had crossed it out and put just as friends. And I was like,
what?
What else would they be?
What?
Because at the time, like gay people were like dinosaurs to me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
not even a concept. It was.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
It's like Santa Claus or something.
But sweet, sweet mom. Yeah.
I'm sure she would be very embarrassed about that now. Or she might just deny it. I don't know.
No, I think that we've talked, and it's just that's what it was
That's
at the
how it
time.
was.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
She's come a long way.
No, she has.
She's come a long way. Yeah.
When I started my period, I didn't tell anyone in our family. I didn't tell my mom.
Oh,
nothing.
yes. The
And
period thing.
yeah, and so I didn't tell anyone. And then driving home from school one day, and she's like, it's just me and her in the car. And my mom goes, why didn't you tell me you started your period? And I was like, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. She's like, okay.
Damn.
And then like the next day I found tampons and pads in my
She
bathroom.
just was like, okay, here you go.
Yep. I would just steal them from my friends when I started my period.
I started my period at girls' camp.
Oh,
Girls' camp.
okay.
I was 15, one of the later
I was 15 too.
period starters, I guess. Yeah, that is late. That is, I feel like we were later. But I did not know how to use a tampon for a hot minute. I remember trying to use one a couple times, and I left the plastic applicator inside.
Yep.
And I was like, this can't be it.
I have a rhino horn up my...
How do people say this is comfortable? How do people wear these comfortably? There ain't no way.
That's when the pain starts.
Literally walks around with the plastic fucking applicator up my badge.
Like all day?
Probably for a good minute till I was like, can't do it.
Ow.
Can't do it. I'm not going to do it.
Not for me.
No. I was like, you know what? Tampons are just not for me.
I tried so many times when I was younger to make tampons work, and I never, ever wore tampons until before I got married. I had a hymenectomy.
That's right.
To widen my vagina because it was too small.
I just have a wide set pelvis.
Like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, that's why I couldn't put tampons in. It's too damn tight.
The things that women have to deal with is astronomical, the number of things.
Yeah, and the misinformation and growing up Mormon in our case, it's just so crazy that sex is this vital part of life. And so many of us and in both of our generations grew up getting just breadcrumbs of information about it.
And sex is obviously, it's such a broad term because it incorporates your body's periods, relationships, emotional, physical, intimacy,
masturbation,
pregnancy, everything, everything.
Right.
And just minuscule breadcrumbs of information.
Yeah. But it's how we all got here.
And then it's like, don't tell them anything. And then you get married and be like, bam, all right. Ready, set, go. And then you're just expected to immediately connect sexually with your eternal partner.
What a mind fuck that is.
Total mind fuck. My 17-year-old, she was pretty young when we left the church, 11. This was just the other day. She said this. Mom, it's crazy that as Mormons, growing up Mormon, you're expected to not ever have sex or think about it. And you can't have sex with anybody, and then you get married, and then you're only supposed to have sex with one person the rest of your life.
What a trap that is.
And I was like, yep.
Yeah. It's so it's traumatic. And that's why so many people get divorced.
Yep. Look, it works for a lot of people. If it works for you to marry your first sexual partner and that works, that's great. Like, I thought that was gonna work for me, and it did for a minute. But I have to say, having now been divorced for several months and separated for even longer than that, and now having had more than 4 sexual partners, is fucking awesome.
It is. I mean, not every experience is going to be incredible and amazing, but it is very liberating to explore your sexuality with as many people as you want to.
And yourself. Yeah. You, via other people too, you get to learn a lot about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, because some people are into other things that other people aren't. And then you're like, oh, I actually do like this. And then, that person wasn't into it, but this person is. And then and it's just, you learn so much, and it's
A lot.
It's incredibly liberating.
You learn a lot about your own body and technique and just all sorts of things. I find it very liberating and exciting, and I didn't know what I was missing out on.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just real quick, the other day I was having sex with somebody and he was doing something to me, and I won't give too many graphic details, but I was like, that had never been done to me before. And I was like, oh my fucking God, whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it. Cause it was I was like,
wild.
this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, keep doing that. Like, that feels so fucking good. I was like,
It's not so cut and dry. It's not cut and dry at all.
And I would have had no idea to like tell him to do that because I had never experienced it before. He had, because he has had multiple partners. And I was like, holy shit.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's an art.
And obviously, like, be safe and, you know, and be careful and safe sex and whatever. That's all important. But anyway.
Yeah. So let's get into some of our listeners' stories, which, by the way, thank you so much for sending them in because they are so brilliant. First submission. My dad was an artist and sign maker. When I was about 13, he drew an 8-panel comic explaining coitus for me. Everything was blurred below the waist, and it basically said abstinence only until you're married or 30.
What? Coitus.
What's coitus?
It's sex.
Okay.
Coitus is sex. It's just very, very scientific, sterile term for it.
He was a sign maker.
Coitus. A sign maker. What the fuck?
Coming soon. Coitus. Coming soon. When you're married or 30. Or 30.
Or 30.
Was he thinking, you know what? If you're not married when you're 30, well, just give up. You know, when you're 30, you're not getting married. Just give up.
But also so funny that it's also okay to have sex when you're 20 and you're married. And yet, like if you're a Mormon, like it's fine if you're 20, but if you're not married, then you're not developmentally ready until you're 30. Explain the logic.
Makes no sense. It's the ceiling.
The logic.
It's the ceiling.
The ceiling makes your brain develop faster.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Ceiling, sex is okay. Sealed, sex is okay.
Sex. Sex is good.
Signed, sealed,
delivered.
Sex. Oh, man. Next, he says, I'll confess, I thought I invented masturbation. Growing up, no one would ever use the word or any words descriptive enough to know what they were actually talking about. Quote, self-pleasure, self-stimulation, self-gratification.
Self-abuse.
End quote. Jesus, just say what it is. Nope. So one night, 12-year-old me was just thinking about what sex was and how I'd never experience it until marriage. And then the magic thought of, maybe I can stimulate it. Cut to lotion, a Ziploc bag, and this genius. It was years before I made the connection between what I was doing and what they were telling me not to do. There are questions.
Ziploc bag.
Because of the mess or
Ziploc? I'm sitting here thinking about it. Men, explain yourselves. I get the lotion.
Was it to create a tighter container for the act? Like
you didn't want to get your hands messy? Maybe it was like put the lotion on the Ziploc bag and then
he was 12.
You know what? He created his own fleshlight.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm imagining.
You created your own fleshlight, didn't you?
Yes.
You are a genius.
That's exactly what I was imagining.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Damn.
But that must have taken some experimenting.
Just to get it the right.
He's like, what household item? What household item can I get my hands on?
Please tell me you're an engineer of some type now. That's fucking hilarious.
Yes, congratulations. You invented masturbation. All it took was lotion and a Ziploc bag.
Genius.
Next, they say, in 4th grade, my mom was notified that we would be having the puberty talk. Sounds familiar.
Dun, dun, dun.
Being religious, she thought it would be better coming from her. So the night before the lecture, she did a pretty good job sticking to the facts, except for one major thing. She told me that I would be getting erections all the time. And if that I touched myself, I would eventually turn gay. Yeah, that was pretty horrible and wrong, obviously. I never had anything close to a sex talk again.
It's like
It's like
shocked,
the Midas
but
touch,
not
the gay touch. If you touch your dingling, you will be gay.
Everything around you turns gay.
You're gay as the day is long.
You're gay. Your dad is gay. Your mom is gay. Everybody's gay. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Hide your mothers. Hide your brothers. Because everybody's gay up in here.
You will ruin everyone's lives. That's awful.
God.
That's awful.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, just the mental gymnastics that some of these parents go through to like do everything. It's so normal. Touching yourself is normal, people.
And like, I have a little bit of compassion for them because clearly they were fed misinformation.
Yes.
Clearly they were conditioned to believe these things.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's on you as an adult to educate yourselves, but like a lot of people don't, because when you all are also raised in a high demand religion, as I'm assuming a lot of these listeners are, you don't think to look outside of that, because why? You already have the answers.
And it's scary.
It is very scary. You don't want to make room for the nuances of being gay or masturbation or touching yourself. So it's just so much easier to be like black and white. Touch your dick, you're gay. End of story.
And erections all the time.
All the time.
Just
Popping
bricked
it
up.
up.
Bricked
Pitching-
up 24/7.
Pitch it a tent.
My
Here,
God.
There, everywhere. Grab your Ziploc bag. Get it together.
I'm gonna make you a little kit, okay? In case anything happens at school, because it's gonna be there all the time. All the time.
Kit. An erection kit. This is your emergency erection kit. Take caution.
Oh, you poor thing.
That's crazy, but also not surprising.
Next, they say, I was raised Mormon and was quite naive and sheltered. My embarrassing story happened during the school's sex ed instruction. I was confused with the difference between ejaculation and urination and defecation. So when the instructor said that you can't urinate and ejaculate at the same time, I had to disagree. Thankfully, I waited until afterwards to confront her. And tell her that I have done both at the same time on multiple occasions. She gave me a very odd look, but satisfied that I had blessed someone with my wisdom, I went on my merry way. To this day, now that I know what she was really saying, I wonder what she was thinking and how much of a laugh she got out of it. Let me tell you something. Linda, let me tell you something.
I can urinate and ejaculate at the same time. It's a split hole.
Yeah.
If you've seen Hot Rod,
Do you even know how the human body works? Sex ed teacher?
there's like this Hot Rod clip of like the guy who's like explaining how it's like you can pee like split stream if you get like a little bit of cum like dripping on your urethra, like the tip of your penis, and then it splits. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but it's like, and there's like this imagery. If you've seen Hot Rod, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but that's the imagery that comes to my mind. It's just...
I love the confidence
so
that
confident.
he had.
He was in elementary school?
Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
I think so. I guess it doesn't say when it was, but it must have been because it was the school's sex ed instruction. But oh man, the confidence to go up to that instructor and be like, you know what? I have to correct you on something, okay?
The child.
Jesus lives and this is possible.
This is possible. I know. Miracles do happen.
Miracles happen.
And what's she going to say to a child?
And you're looking at it.
What's she going to say to this child?
Prove it.
Like in private to this little boy, be like, prove it. Prove it. Like, what the fuck is she supposed to do?
God.
But that is like a little side tangent. But yeah, obviously, you know, you've been with many guys, been with men, and yeah, you can't ejaculate if you have to pee really bad. Like you can't, like men have a hard time getting erect or staying erect if they have to pee really bad. And but what's interesting to know, and I don't know if you are the same way, is that if I have not too full of a bladder, but a full enough bladder, It makes orgasms so much better.
Oh yeah, that's
because
science.
it like presses on, what is it, like your G-spot or something? I don't know, but it is. And so there's like a trick sometimes that men know about. If like they're having sex with you, they push a little bit on your bladder. So men, they push a little bit on your pelvis, and it's like, oh, you know what you're doing.
Yep.
You know what you're doing.
And then there's a position when you're on top of them where you can activate that same part at different angles and different, positions when you're on top. Yeah. The more you know.
The more you know. Women's bodies are magical, and you figure that shit out pretty quickly.
Yeah. And men are being raised to think they can ejaculate and urinate at the same time. Next, he says, I was 14 and I rode my bike over to a girl's house who was never Mormon. And we started making out in her room. Next thing I know, we were naked and she was literally hovering above me trying to put it in. And I started crying, ugly crying, and was so worried that the devil and all my ancestors were watching me commit this horrible sin. So I literally picked her up off me and put her on the bed, crying, saying sorry over and over again, ran out of the house half naked, you can call me Joseph, and rode my bike the 8 miles home. 1 mile in, I jizzed in my pants. Never talked to her again, told my returned sister missionary sister, went to the bishop that Sunday, told the whole story. No Sacramento for 3 months. He couldn't take the sacrament for 3 months. The next school year, she was at a different school, but in algebra, I sat next to this girl that I've never seen before. When the teacher called my name, she slowly turned her head and said, "Do you know my cousin?"
Oh my God.
My face was red. Almost started crying again, but she said, "Don't worry, I won't tell." For the next 4 years, every time I'd see her, she'd say, "My cousin says hi." And we ended up good friends.
Oh my God.
Oh, and then they forgot, addition to the jizz on a bike story, this was my first time making out ever and my first orgasm. Yep, lost my virginity, sort of, to a bike. Raise your hand if you are a man and you lost your virginity to a bike.
An inanimate object.
Oh my God.
In general. Probably most of you. Oh God. But also the ancestor thing. That is a common belief amongst
always watching.
Mormons. But also, okay, pervs.
Yeah.
Okay, perverts. But why did and do so many of us believe that? Because
it's a fear tactic.
But is that like officially taught? Is that like an official part of the doctrine? I don't remember that being taught, but I think it's along the lines of, if your ancestors are watching you like do temple work and watching you go to church and making sure like they're going to be proud of you for doing XYZ, and then clearly, like as logic would follow, then therefore they are watching you do all the horrible stuff too. Which means have sex, masturbate, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Because Mormonism is such like a family central, ancestors like centered type of religion, because you have to make your family happy. You have to do all this work to be with your family again.
Yeah.
So they're going to be watching you. They're going to be, so it's like, what the fuck? So yeah, they're watching you. Fuck, they're watching you. Fuck.
Well, and I heard more often, God is always watching you.
Yeah.
They're always watching.
Yeah, that. And Jesus.
And what I'm imagining is, God, Jesus, your ancestors, they have a schedule. They're like, Tommy's doing sex again. We got to go watch him.
Tommy's getting out the Ziploc bag again.
Guys, our show's on. Our show is on.
Joe's on the bike.
What if your ancestors were predators? What if
seriously?
And they're just watching you?
My God.
I honestly think
up.
that the lack of sex education in Mormonism and in many high demand religions is, I would say, probably like the number one contributing factor to all sorts of issues, all sorts of contributing to mental health issues, rape culture, just everything, because it is the vitality of life. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it contributes to so many problems. Sexual repression in men. I mean, look at how many church leaders get arrested for abusing children. Like, it seems like it's every day, every fucking day. And I know way too many women and girls who have done stuff with boys, or they've been coerced into doing stuff with boys, Mormon boys, sexually repressed, conservative, religious boys. And then the girls are blamed for it. Women are blamed for it. And the men get off basically scot-free. And it's like, well, if you didn't tempt me so much, or I can't take care of my own needs. Mm-hmm. I can't masturbate. So therefore, like, someone else has to take care of this for me, but that's also bad. So if we end up doing stuff, it's your fault because you tempted me, because you're a woman, because you're just naturally like a temptress, because you're Eve's daughter, that bitch.
And you're an object.
And you're an object. And so I have to get off somehow, but also I can't. It's fucked 10 ways to Sunday.
It really, really is. And it just makes me so relieved that I'm not raising my daughters that way. It makes me so relieved so that when things come up, as they are more and more as my kids get older, my oldest is 8, and it's like, oh, there's no shame in answering her. There's no shame in explaining what this is, or just, I don't have to be weird about it. It's just, thank God.
It is. Oh, I am grateful every fucking day that I don't have to filter any of these conversations through the lens of such fucked up doctrine.
It's a lot of work.
It's so much work.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. And not that parenting is hard regardless, but it does feel a lot smoother, simpler.
It's not as scary.
Yeah, it's not as complicated as it needs to be, just to be like, hey, sometimes this happens, sometimes that happens. And just to have no shame in any of these discussions is what is so beautiful about being on this side of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I love most about it.
Yeah. But congrats to losing your virginity to a bike.
Congrats.
And poor thing, crying with the girl in her room. I mean, that's so valid. It's so valid because you're like,
feelings are valid.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, because you're scared to death.
Yeah.
Fucked up though.
Next, she says, I, a 33-year-old woman, am the oldest of boomer parents who didn't get married until age 30 and are extremely true-believing Mormon and repressed. Somewhere in my early preteen years, my mom gave me her sex talk, which was, open quote, they will want to play with your boobs. Close quote. The end. I did online health in 8th grade, which was turning in one brochure about HIV to pass. And in high school, my parents opted me out of the sex ed part of the class.
Why?
So
God,
classic.
Why,
God.
parents? Why?
By the time I entered BYU as a sweet, innocent freshman, I still had no clue what sex consisted of. So, being the former gifted and talented student I was, I decided it was high time I knew the details. But I couldn't go to just any random site, because if VictoriaSecret.com was blocked, for sure all the other dark, naughty sites would be too. Mm-hmm. So I went to the Britannica Online Encyclopedia, where the entry on sex included an animated visual aid. And in that moment, on my couch in Wyview Park, I was shocked and horrified to discover that the penis actually went into the vagina. And now that sweet, innocent girl is all grown up, out of the church, and can't fall asleep without a nightly orgasm, courtesy of the yellow vibrator Carly recommended that one time.
Yes. Oh, isn't that the best fucking vibrator ever? Oh my God.
I gotta get this.
Oh my God. I love this story now. No, I love it anyway, but that's hilarious.
They're gonna want to touch your boobs.
They're gonna want to touch your boobs.
And that's all she could explain.
She's like, she must have had a traumatic experience. They're gonna want to touch your boobs.
They will touch your boobs.
They will touch them and they will like it. And they're going to want to do it again. Oh my God. Also, best vibrator ever. Just, got to plug it in and plug it on the pot.
Wait, so were you looking it up on a school computer? Because you were saying that VictoriaSecret.com was blocked.
Yeah, it was probably the Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah.
Where it was blocked.
Oh my God. The
Encyclopedia
the
Britannica. Oh my God.
But just those moments are kind of traumatic when you learn a vital part that's like so like, oh, penis goes into the vagina, and you're like, what?
And
they have to go
horrifying to you.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate. Oh, and I don't want to get off on another tangent. But I hate so much. So many parents refuse to have these conversations or refuse to make space or a safe space for their kids to be able to come to them and talk to them about these things, because clearly from many of these stories, they are going to look it up. They are going to research it or figure it out anyway. Yeah. In private, on their own time, or through their friends, or through porn, or through maybe something even worse, some kind of sexual abuse, whatever. They're going to learn about it. And just because you sweep it under the rug, or you pretend it doesn't exist, or you pretend like, oh, if I don't talk to them about it, then they're going to be innocent forever. No, fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck no. They are going to learn about it no matter what. So create a space for them to be able to talk to you, for them to come to you and say like, hey, so I looked up this Encyclopedia Britannica video and it's really shocking to me. And can I talk to you about this? Be like,
Right.
yeah, kids are scared to death not to know these things, and which is this stuff is so normal, and it's just, yeah, this is how life is made most of the time. It's just crazy to me now.
Yeah, it's really, really sad, just because so many of these stories are like, man, they could have gone to their parent for that. They could have gone to their parent and asked.
Yep.
And they felt like they couldn't. And they had to seek out their own source to do that. And then after reading that source or watching that source or experience whatever, then they're left with even more questions.
Yes. And they probably will learn a lot of incorrect information along the way. And then it's just like this.
And that fucks you up for life.
It fucks you up so much.
If you don't catch it at some point, or you just, and then maybe you end up in a very abusive marriage where this person is, abusing you sexually, but you don't know.
You don't know
that it's bad. You don't know that that's wrong, or It
makes me so angry just that so many conservative parents think this way. Not all of them, but it's that they just don't. They think it's out of sight, out of mind. No.
And it starts really
very
early.
Young. Very
really
young.
Kids are exposed to the topic of sex in whatever form at a very young age. I would say like 6.
Yeah, and it's also just they're naturally curious.
Yeah.
As they age and they maybe see something, or they think about their own bodies, or they see a different, like, they're just curious. So it's just stop being such a pussy.
Yeah, for real.
Grow a vulva, okay?
Like,
not a pussy.
Save the children.
Save the children.
Educate them.
Educate the children. # educate the children.
And if you don't know how to educate, then educate yourself first on just sex education in general.
I feel like we did mention this on the first pod. It might have gotten erased though. But if you haven't seen Sex Education on Netflix, incredible show. I would honestly watch it either with your teenager, watch it by yourself, or recommend your teenager watch it on their own or with friends. I would say as early as like 11, 12, honestly.
It's so good.
It's so good. It is so educational, informative. There's no shame in it.
And so accurate as well.
So accurate.
Reliable
and there is a lot of
information.
sex, but it is extremely reliable, accurate information with zero shame involved, and funny as fuck.
And focuses...
And very inclusive.
Focuses a lot on consent, which is
so much of that.
The overarching theme of what they talk about. But I love that show. It's so good.
Such a good show.
The open line of communication, I think, is the most important thing.
That is the most important thing.
And not getting mad at them for asking.
Yeah, and it's okay to tell your kids, like, you know what? I don't know. So let's figure this out together.
Yeah.
Or, let me look this up and we'll talk about this when I'm more informed. Like, it's okay. It is so important for your kids to see that you don't know everything.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say, you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm so glad you asked. Let me research that and we'll talk about it when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
For sure. Next, she says, when it was time for the sex talk, my parents took me, 10 years old, and my brother, 11 years old, to our ward building in the bishop's office. I honestly have no idea if they actually talked about the mechanics of sex. I just remember feeling weird it was happening at the church. Here is the thing with that. So now they're going to associate sex with the bishop's office. So they're going to go in there and they're going to have their little one-on-one interviews with the bishop. And they're thinking, this is where my parents took me to tell me about sex. That's fucked up.
So fucking weird.
Yeah. You needed to be in a holy place? Believe me.
Why not the temple?
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Go have a picnic at the temple, on the temple grounds.
Go big or go home. Go to the temple and be like, let's have the sex talk here. Go to the Holy of Holies.
How weird and weird.
God religion fucks you in the head.
No wonder that fucked you. That would fuck me up too.
Holy shit. That's so weird.
Next, she says, girl, I did not get the sex talk. My dad was pretty absent and not LDS, while my mom was striving to be the perfect Mormon. I was part of the generation where virtue was added to the young woman values.
Okay.
That section only had 5 things to check off for your medallion, and most of them were just reading scriptures. You bet I did that section quickly in order to check those boxes. I never understood scriptures, but I read them in order to check the boxes, lol. Fast forward, I'm 15 and in a pretty bad situation with a teenage boy, experiencing depression and scary ideations. This boy unfortunately gave me an ultimatum. I do the deed, or he was going to do something scary. Come time to chat with the bishop a while later, the bishop says something along the lines of, you must not have completed your virtue value. And then I proudly stated that I had completed it shortly after it was released. And then this man said, do you know what virtue means? And my answer was no. He then explained to me that it was essentially chastity and remaining pure. I obviously knew that sex before marriage was a no-no. I wasn't taking the sacrament for a long time before chatting with the bishop. However, I still think it's funny that I completed the whole virtue value and had no damn clue that it was about purity because of the confusing scripture words.
Just makes me so mad. I hate everything about this. And yet that's so common.
Yeah.
Again, it's like you said before. If you don't learn this stuff, accurate information about sex and relationships and intimacy, whatever, you can get involved in an abusive situation. Mm-hmm. And you don't know, especially if you're a teenager and you're a young girl or a young guy, whatever. And you don't know that what you're experiencing is wrong.
Yeah. And a boy threatening to, sounds like, off himself if she did not have sex with him, that's rape.
That is rape. That's rape.
That's coercion.
That's coercion, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how would she know? Because all she was taught was just shame, shame, shame. And then her bishop to ask, you must not have completed the virtue value.
I want to punch you in the balls, straight in the balls.
Which is just reading scriptures. I remember that. So it's in the Young Women's Program, you did this thing where you had to earn this medallion and you had to go through all these principles to earn this medallion. And one of the principles was virtue. And so you had to read scriptures. That was it. That was the only thing that you had to do to get that.
Yeah, but many members of the church conflate the two terms like sex and virtue, chastity and virtue. And yeah, I don't think it always means that. Like, we have come to associate the term virtue with chastity. And I think if you look up the definition, that's not like,
I'll pull it up.
I don't think it means exactly that. It's just like in these religious context, like a virtuous woman is supposed to mean a chaste woman. What does virtue mean?
So virtue, the meaning is a broad moral quality.
Yeah.
Living... doesn't even mention sex.
No.
Living according to high ethical standards such as honesty, courage, compassion, justice, and self-control. And that's so classist for the church to be very like, classist. Virtue is tied to chastity.
Pure.
Because
moral.
people with high standards and,
are chaste.
Are chaste. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chastity is sexual self-control, abstaining from sexual activity. So...
yeah.
Virtue is the whole moral package. Mm-hmm. Purity is moral, spiritual cleanliness, often extending beyond sexual matters. And chastity is sexual discipline or abstinence within a moral code. So they're telling you, if you are a virtuous woman, you have sexual discipline and you're abstinent.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah. And if you're not those things...
the church has created their own definition for that.
And to be taught as a young girl, that is one of the standards that you need to hold yourself to. Fuck that. Fuck that. Thank you for sharing. She says, I was lucky enough to have a more open-minded Mormon mom. However, many of my cousins, not so much. I don't know about the majority of my cousins, but 3 of them from the same family have some pretty rough stories. Brian is a year younger than me and got married at 22. Very Mormon wedding, but he and his wife are super cute. Apparently on his wedding night and for a few months following, he had some issues with getting hard or finishing. He believed it was due to him looking at pornography once while in high school. And it was God's way of punishing him for his transgression. To experiencing something like erectile dysfunction and immediately think, it's because I looked at porn when I was a teenager. What?
The porn thing, I feel like we could probably rant about that for a minute. Just the whole shaming it's mostly boys that they shame.
Mhm.
Boys and men. Boys to men. I don't know why. I just boys to men just popped in my head. Shaming them for, again, something that is very common, very normal. Porn has been around since the beginning of time, pretty much, in obviously different forms. It's very ubiquitous now, clearly, with the internet, but it's not a brand new thing. It is not something that should be shamed. Obviously, like, when you're compulsively using anything to escape from life or whatever, I'm not an expert, I'm not a sex therapist or whatever, but from what I hear, it's about like the compulsion but with conservative religious scrupulosity, you get stuck in a cycle, a shame cycle, where it's like you watch porn to have a release and then you feel guilty. And then to release that guilt, you compulsively use porn again so that you can have that release of like, oh, I need to feel better. The endorphin, it's the cycle. It's over and over and over again. And so when you constantly shame someone for using something, anything, if it's like you're shaming them for it could be so many things that and if you tell them not to think about a specific thing that they are naturally gravitating towards, it's like saying don't think of a pink elephant, and then you're like,
don't look at the sky.
don't look at the sky, like,
Yeah.
court, like, it's just,
Well, and how many times is porn addiction mislabeled
so mislabeled.
in the church?
Just addiction in general.
Like, you look at porn once,
you're
addict.
an addict.
You're addicted.
That's like a really heavy burden to bear when you're calling someone an addict.
Yeah.
Because you're implying that you are ruining your life or ruining someone else's life or both. And that you can't function, you can't do anything, and that you're going to be, I don't know, in prison or something. The church should just stay out of the sex business.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah. And just with so many of these stories, and they mention in theirs, so many, probably majority, we don't get the sex talk until right before we get married. And it is the most intimate way that someone can be like interacting with you.
And to not talk about it.
And to think that you haven't been talked about it. Like no one's talked with you about it at all. And then it's like, oh, you're getting married, so let's check in and make sure you know what this is. What?
So fucking stupid and backwards.
It really is. Next, they say, when I was in first grade, I was watching a show with a family when the word sex was used. I asked my mom what the word meant, and instead of giving me a real answer, she told me it's when two people are naked and they kiss. The next morning, I got out of the shower and our dog came running in to lick off my wet legs. I realized I was naked. He was naked, and he was kissing me, so we just had sex. Cool. Anyway, I went to school and loudly announced to the class that I had sex with my dog that morning. My teacher freaked out. Some of the students reacted with awkward laughs, and it wasn't until a few years later when I actually learned what sex was that I got incredibly embarrassed and ashamed. Now that I think about it, that was the only sex talk I ever had from my parents. Jail.
I engaged in bestiality.
Jail.
FYI, class.
Hey guys, I had sex with my dog this morning. What was your peak of the day? That was mine. What'd you do over the weekend? Had sex with my dog.
I fucked my dog.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Bless
Oh,
you.
dear God in heaven above.
See, this
That's the this is the
this
Exhibit
is the
10. I don't-
problem. This is the issue with not, and okay, things happen with kids where like they will ask some random question and you're not prepared to like fully like talk about it then or whatever. But make sure you follow up. If you're going to tell them something really simple of, oh, it's when you get naked and have sex, like I understand where they're coming from, but this is what it leads to if it goes left. Because she said that was the only sex talk she ever had. So,
okay. And case in point, when my daughter was, I don't know, probably 9 at the time, my oldest daughter, she asked me what 69 meant. And I had already at this point thought, okay, when my kids ask me these types of questions, I'm giving them a real straight answer. I'm not going to beat around the bush, so to speak. I'm not going to give them some generic bullshit answer. I'm not going to sidestep it. I'm going to give them honesty. And I'm not going to make them feel awkward about it. So one day my daughter says, Mom, what does 69 mean? And I said, oh, interesting. Where'd you hear that? Some kid at school said they 69 their friend. And I said, well, what did they think it means? They said it means making out. I said, well, that's not what it means. Do you want to know what it means? And they said, well, yeah. And so I explained it to them. I was like, well, you're in this, everyone, I'm assuming that listens to the podcast know what 69 is. And so I just explained it very directly. And they're like, oh, like, what? I was like, so you don't need to tell your friend or talk to your friend about it, but they should probably ask their parents. If you're going around saying that you 69 someone at, I don't know, 4th, 5th grade or whatever age they were, maybe let's not do that.
Yeah.
Maybe let's not.
Yeah.
Give your kids the correct information.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's...
I fucked my dog. I had sex with my dog. That teacher, her head must have exploded.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. Next, my mom passed when I was 7. When I turned 8, my poor dad felt the need to give me the talk. He is an introverted engineer, so it was literally the worst possible scenario possible. He took me to Red Butte Gardens, and we sat on the little boardwalk area. I had no idea what was coming. All of a sudden, he starts talking about when 2 people fall in love and want to have a baby, doing finger in the hole actions. He called it the man squirts in relationship. It still makes me cringe when I say it. I was a deer in headlights and had no idea how to respond. It was so awkward. Also, we never talked about anything ever again, so I was completely clueless as a teenager.
Never any follow-up for the love.
You were going to take your daughter
Jiminy
to
Crickets.
a garden and use the word squirts and say that's sex? In a garden? Please no.
What is going on?
Please don't.
And there's never any
follow-up. Honestly, I think after reading so many of these, it's like follow-up could have helped so much. You fucked up your first conversation or you felt awkward or whatever. Okay, that's valid as a parent, but it's the follow-up. It's the making sure that that's not just a one-time conversation. Because again, sex is not cut and dry.
No, it's
It's not all about squirting.
It's not a single conversation either.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. I bet you'll never think of Red Butte Gardens the same. I know.
It's such a beautiful place too.
It is. It really is.
Damn you, father.
Next, when I was about 8, I had a rudimentary understanding of the mechanics of sex. I also knew that it was off limits, evil, the worst thing a person could do. I knew that having sex before marriage could result in a baby, but I thought that after marriage, the woman would just spontaneously become pregnant because sex was bad. Why would it suddenly be okay after marriage?
Good question.
When my older sister got married, I began asking her when she would have a baby. I asked constantly until my sister couldn't take it anymore and begged my mom to sit down with me. After some digging, my mom uncovered the disconnect and explained that sex was required to make a baby, regardless of marital status. I was devastated. I sobbed uncontrollably, knowing that if I wanted to be a mom someday, I'd have to commit this disgusting, sinful act. No surprises here, but when I got married at 19, I had a very difficult time flipping that switch. It took a year before I was able to have my first orgasm, and it wasn't until after I left the church that I was able to fully embrace my sexuality and make peace with my body.
Disgusting and evil. Yeah, so FYI, if you constantly say that sex is bad and wrong and evil and gross and immoral, exactly. How are you just supposed to turn that switch how are you just supposed to suddenly like decondition yourself from thinking that way? It does work for some people, and some people can just flip that switch easily.
Right.
Other people can't, and a lot of people don't even realize that they are conditioned to think that it's evil and
Yeah.
that they do have these problems in the bedroom. They're not making that connection. And again, this is why it fucks you up.
Yeah, because it's just ingrained in your head that these things are evil. Just evil, evil, evil. And yet you're supposed to do it in order to have a child. And as a woman, having a child is the single greatest responsibility and calling of your life.
The only
Make
calling,
it make sense.
the only duty, the only calling, the only gift
Of the highest order.
God has given you. And it's associated with something so evil and wrong and immoral and disgusting and bad.
Interesting.
Interesting.
It's almost like the church hates women.
It's almost like they fucking hate us.
Yeah, they want to villainize us at any cost.
We're the sluts and we're the whores and we're the temptresses. And
we cause the 24/7 erections and we, blame for fucking everything down right to Eve herself.
For fuck's sake.
Next, she says, oh my God. When I was 11, I was told by my friends that in order to get pregnant, aka sex, it was using your hands to rub down there. I literally thought you got pregnant from masturbating. I did it a few times and I was terrified. At 11 years old, my mom asked me if I knew what sex was and I didn't want to say that because I was ashamed. She kept asking and I kept dodging. Eventually she gave it up and I learned what real sex was.
Masturbating. I would have been pregnant at 4 years old.
Holy shit. What if you accidentally like graze yourself? Like not even on purpose. It's like, fuck, I'm pregnant.
Fuck, there's a fetus in there.
Fuck.
Zygote.
I'm with child. Goes to school. Guys.
Immaculate masturbation.
I bumped my vagina on something.
Guys, I had sex with a dog and masturbated and now I'm pregnant.
Pregnant, 9 months, about to pop.
Call me Mary, mother of Joseph.
The misinformation is just insane. And I mean, I experienced it. You experienced it. It's just, and now, I mean, for me, I've learned the most about sex in the last 5 years and I'm 34. It's just so crazy.
Definitely having kids, at least for me, really made me focus a lot because I knew from day one that I was like, I'm not gonna raise my kids that way.
Yeah.
Even as a Mormon.
I thought that too as a Mormon as well.
Because we knew just how frustrating that was.
Yeah.
And we did not want to raise our kids that way. I think you and I are pretty logical, pretty smart people. And we just didn't want to, especially when we knew we were both having daughters. It was just like, nah, this isn't for us. We're not perfect at it. But again, open communication is what's key. And just a safe space for any of these questions to be asked. And the follow-up is very important. And also educating yourself and to just not shame yourself or your kids for learning more about this. And I think also what's so great is that leaving the church, I have acquired a lot of queer friends many are in open relationships, some are not. But just being around them and hanging around them a lot, they're very open about their sex lives, their sexuality, to the point where it's so normal just to have these conversations, just in an open, non-shamey, non-judgmental way. And I love that so much. I've learned so much just from them in general. And, because I'm still in a very monogamous heterosexual relationship. So it was just really nice to hear their experiences. And it was really freeing just to be around that.
I love that. And I've had similar experiences just as I left the church and just expanding my group of friends or just people that I interacted with. These things come up naturally because sex is just such a normal part of life and people talk about it. Some not in the best way, some in the best way. But I'm so glad that I don't have to live the rest of my life trying to protect my kids from knowing what
Mhm.
sex is.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't have to, for the next, 10 years, raise my daughter and not answer her questions,
Yeah.
not talk to her about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that when it does come time for her to have sex, we will have already had many conversations. And the most important thing is, I believe, is consent,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Enthusiastic.
enthusiastic consent when you're teaching kids about sex with other people. But thank you guys so much for submitting your stories. And I am glad that, from what it seems, we're all healing from all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we can share these things means that we're aware that we were given misinformation, or we weren't taught correctly, or we want to do things differently with our kids.
Mm-hmm. You guys are doing the work. You're doing the
Mhm.
work to heal from this religious trauma. And it is religious trauma, a lot of it.
Mhm.
So pat yourselves on the back, pat yourselves on the clit or the dick, whatever feels right.
But careful, you might get pregnant.
But yeah, please no engaging in bestiality. Just
Mhm.
consent with consenting adults of age. That's what's important. Enthusiastic consent. But you guys are doing it, and you're all the best. And thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, guys. Make sure to follow us on social media, messy_jeans on Instagram and TikTok, Messy Jeans on Substack and YouTube. We're on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, review.
yep.
And hopefully, one day we have enough listeners and reviews and everything that we can actually have a podcast studio. That'll be sick.
Would be so sick.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
review
we
us.
love you guys.
Thank you so much. Love
Bye.
you. Bye.